Political differences will not hinder the goals of establishing the Keluarga Malaysia community, which is to convey information and government policies, as well as foster unity among the local community. Communications and Multimedia Minister Tan Sri Anwar Musa said the election process in Johor was only temporary, but the process of making the Keluarga Malaysia community a success was a long-term mission.
Pilihan raya ini hanya berlaku tempoh 14 hari saja. Lepas pada 14 hari, kita kena bekerjasama semula sebagai satu masyarakat dan agenda membangunkan negara hendaklah kita teruskan. Jadi saya nampak di situ mereka ada peranan yang lebih besar dan seharusnya melangkaui fahaman kepartian lah. Ya.
The minister was met after presenting appointment letters to Keluarga Malaysia Central Zone community leaders in Kluang last night. The Keluarga Malaysia Community Program, implemented through the Information Department, is based on community empowerment as an agent for the dissemination of information as well as to enliven community activities. A total of 1,674 Keluarga Malaysia communities have been established since 17 February. The Communications and Multimedia Ministry, KKMM, will intensify efforts to achieve the 70% voter turnout target set by the Election Commission, EC, in the Johor State election. Its Deputy Minister, Datuk Zahiri Zainul Abidin, said the ministry would implement an awareness campaign of the importance of voting through its various agencies, including via social media. He said the ministry would hold campaigns regarding this matter through the internet and would encourage them to cast their votes through the Info on Wheels program. Polling day has been set for 12 March and nominations on 26 February. Earlier, Datuk Zahidi presented 300 My TV decoder sets to the residents of Kampung Fella Bukit Besar, Kota Tinggi. The Public Service Department, JPA, has been urged to consider listing COVID-19 as an infectious disease so that parents looking after their infected child will be eligible for the 5-day quarantine leave. Melaka Health and Anti-Drug Committee Chairman Dr. Muhammad Akmal Saleh said this was to be fair and provide relief to close contacts, especially health service employees whose children are COVID-19 positive. Dr. Muhammad Akmal said it was unfair for the parents if they were forced to take annual leave to look after their children during the quarantine period, which is between 7 and 10 days. He said if COVID-19 was listed as an infectious disease, the parents would be able to take turns to take care of the children during the quarantine period. According to Service Circular, quarantine leave entitlement is only for parents whose children are infected with a contagious disease, and this applies to children under 18 or under 21 if the child is still studying. The 6 transmissible diseases listed in the circular are hand, foot and mouth disease, dengue fever, dengue hemorrhagic fever, measles, chickenpox, diphtheria and malaria. The Plantation Industries and Commodities Ministry will be establishing a one-stop information and reference center for the country's bamboo industry entrepreneurs, which is also part of its efforts to strengthen the high-value-add downstream bamboo industry. Its Minister, Dato' Zuraida Kamarudin, said the Bamboo One-Stop Center, to be developed next month at Tadom Hill Resorts, Banting, at a cost of about 2 million ringgit, would also function as a local information center, including for bamboo industry-related promotion, research and development.
Kita menjadikan ini model dulu dan kita boleh gunakan model ini untuk kita bina di tempat lain juga. Saya juga ada permintaan di kawasan Pahang. Jadi tak apa, kita mula di sini sebab dia dah ada asas. Jadi kita mudah untuk kita bangunkan, teruskan pembangunan. Jadi bila kita dah ada model ini nanti kita boleh adopt lah buat ke sana pula.
She was met after witnessing the Memorandum of Understanding for the Bamboo One-Stop Center development involving the Malaysian Timber Industry Board, Malaysian Timber Council and Tadom Hill Resort Sendirian Berhad. Tadom Hill Resort is a unique bamboo-inspired ecotourism resort spanning 18.2 hectares, which has also taken steps to produce commercial bamboo products such as bamboo vinegar and biochar. Dato' Zuraida said Malaysia, which has more than 70 species of bamboo, had so far exported bamboo products worth only 8.2 million ringgit, as local market demand could not be fully met. She said there had been so far 577 enterprises directly involved in bamboo-related industries in Malaysia, comprising bamboo plywood, furniture, construction, textile, plantation, food, biochar, and handicraft industries. Up, assault over romance subsequently sparked scuffle at hospital in Ipoh. Stay with us. Now, a woman was found dead in a shop in Perkembangan last night after the police responded to a complaint of a fight in the area. Sedang District Police Chief ACP AA Anbalagan said the incident at the business premises was reported to the police at 7:25 p.m. He said the body of the 29-year-old woman who sustained a slash wound in the neck was discovered lying in a pool of blood in the business premises. Investigations are ongoing to identify the motive and the suspect involved. The case is being investigated under Section 302 of the Penal Code. It was made to understand that prior to the incident, the victim, who was the owner of a shop selling safe boxes, had a fight with a boyfriend over money. Police have confirmed that a local detainee, OKT, who was awaiting trial, has died in the COVID-19 ward at Kota Tinggi Hospital in Johor. Bukit Raman Integrity and Standards Compliance Department, or JIBS, Director Dato' Azri Ahmad said the cause of death was COVID-19, which caused a drop in the functions of the detainee's kidney and lungs. He said JIBS would continue with its investigations from various angles before submitting its findings to the coroner. The detainee was previously placed temporarily in a police lockup due to the spread of COVID-19 in prison. The 43-year-old OKT, who was arrested on 21st January by the Kota Tinggi District Police Headquarters, was being investigated under Section 15, Subsection 1 of the Dangerous Drugs Act 1952. Dato' Azri said the detainee was charged in court on 25th January and remanded for 4 days, adding that the bail was offered, but he failed to provide the surety, resulting in him being remanded in jail. Now, in a strange string of events, a dispute over a romance caused 3 individuals to sustain injuries, which then led to a scuffle with a security guard on the grounds of Raja Permaisuri Bainan Hospital in Ipoh. Perak Police Chief Datuk Mayor Farid Al-Atraj Wahid said the scuffle, which was caused by a misunderstanding, was recorded and subsequently went viral in the same day, adding that the police received 2 police reports about 2 separate incidents: the scuffle on the hospital grounds and the injuries in Buntong, Ipoh, which they later discovered were related. He said the first case was assault by a local man using a sharp weapon at an area in Buntong, causing 3 individuals to sustain injuries. The case is being investigated under Section 326 of the Penal Code for causing serious injury. The second case was received at 12:20 a.m. at the Raja Permaisuri Bainan Hospital, involving a group of local men who wanted to send the injured victims to the hospital, where another misunderstanding occurred with the security guard there because too many people wanted to enter the emergency zone area. Dato' Mio said the police took immediate action and arrived at the scene to control the situation, adding that the case was being investigated under Section 147 of the Penal Code for rioting. According to him, the police were tracking down suspects believed to be involved in both cases and urged those with any information about either incident to contact the police. Several videos had gone viral on social media earlier yesterday, showing a scuffle between a group of men with a security guard on the hospital grounds. To clinching their maiden Badminton Asia Team Championship BATC title thanks to a 3-0 victory over South Korea in the semi-finals yesterday. The win saw Malaysia avenge the defeat of the women's squad at the hands of the Koreans by a similar score earlier. It was a stuttering start for Malaysia as All England champion and home crowd favourite Lee Zejia was humbled 13-21 by Jeon Hyuk-jin, ranked 2094th in the world in the first game. The world number 7, however, regained his composure to take the second game 21-13 before winning 21-15 in the rubber to give Malaysia the first point. Tokyo Olympics 2020 men's doubles bronze medalist Aaron Chia Sowoyek also did not disappoint and continued the winning momentum with a strong display to come out tops against Kim Hui-tae, Kim Jae-hwan, winning 21-14 in the first game. The duo was caught off guard the next set as they narrowly lost 20-22 before taking back the game 21-19 in the third. Second singles men's shuttler Ng Ze-yong secured the flawless victory for Malaysia after edging past Kim Joo-wan. Ze-yong wrapped up the encounter 19-21, 21-16 and 21-12, setting up a final clash against Indonesia, who defeated Singapore on their side of the semis. And in football, national under-23 football squad head coach Brett Maloney has no plans to change his team's approach when they face Laos again in their final Group B match of the 2022 ASEAN Football Federation AFF Under-23 Championship tomorrow. Maloney said changing their tactical game was not the best option after seeing the positive impact produced by his side despite failing to secure a victory over Laos in Friday's opening match. He said the team's principle remains the same, to dominate all moments in each match. At the same time, Maloney said several new faces will be given a chance in Monday's match with the Australian-born coach, also hoping that winger Muhammad Fahmi Daniel Mohamed Zaim and striker Shafi Aswad Sapari are free to play. Maloney said both players had their COVID-19 screening tests yesterday and they would be allowed to join the team immediately if the results were negative. In their opening match at Prince Stadium in Phnom Penh, Malaysia was shocked with a 2-1 defeat to Laos, with midfielder A. Selvan scoring the only goal with Laos captain Bun Pachan Bungkong secured 3 points for his team by scoring a brace of goals. This result means that Maloney's boys have to win by 2 goals in their second meeting to secure a place in the semi-finals. Meanwhile, the national under-23 team has found itself in a bind just before their match against Laos in the final Group B action of the 2022 AFF Under-23 Championship after 3 of its players tested positive for COVID-19. The Football Association of Malaysia, FAM, in a statement said Abdul Hanafi Tokyo, Zainal Abidin Jamil and T. Saravanan all tested positive on the RTK AG screening tests at their hotel accommodation in Phnom Penh, Cambodia yesterday. Maloney will also lose the services of assistant coach Kang Hong Meng in the clash with Laos after he also tested positive for COVID-19. The statement read that all 3 players and the assistant coach were isolated immediately from any activity with the team. Only the 3 group champions and 1 best runner-up will advance to the semi-finals on 24th February, while the final is scheduled to take place on 26th February. Now, the newly formed Malaysian Sepak Takraw Confederation, MSC, is prepared to be dissolved if the Asian Sepak Takraw Federation does not recognize it as the country's main body for the sport. Its president, Dato' Suhaili Abdul Rahman, said the objective of establishing MSC was to ensure the survival of the country's Sepak Takraw at the international level after the Malaysian Sepak Takraw Association, PSM, was no longer accepted by the Asian parent body.
Sekarang ni tugas untuk mewakili sepak takraw Malaysia ke luar negara ataupun sukan antarabangsa terutama SEA Games terletak di atas bahu MOM, which MOM is more than happy to return it back once kerajaan dah kata okey, now MSC diiktiraf oleh ASTAF. Jadi memang kita, itu makanya kenapa kita dengan you hari ini kita EGM, insyaAllah hari Isnin kita punya pasukan akan mula hantar permohonan ke ASTAF.
At the MSC General Meeting yesterday, Datuk Suhaili, who is also the Federal Territory of Labuan Sepak Takraw Association President, was elected to the number 1 seat. Federal Territory of Putrajaya Sepak Takraw Association President Datuk Sri Khairuddin S. Abdul Samad and Selangor Sepak Takraw Association President Datuk Markiman Kobiran were unanimously elected as first Deputy President and second Deputy President respectively. That concludes today's edition of Updates at Noon. In our top story, political differences will not hinder goals of establishing Keluarga Malaysia community. Tune in to news at 10, coming up at 10 p.m. on saluran Berita RTM on My Freeviews channel 123. You can also stream the news by surfing RTM Click. Till then, I'm Brenda Paul. Stay tuned to TV2.